I'm an astronaut. The exoplanets are not safe. In the year 2024, humanity's ambition to explore the cosmos reached a new zenith. As part of an international collaboration, I, Captain Samuel J. Carter, was selected to embark on an unprecedented mission. To land on and explore Gliese 581G, an exoplanet believed to be capable of supporting life. Many years of rigorous training, endless simulations, and intense preparation had led to this moment. Leaving behind the comfort and familiarity of Earth, I ventured into the great unknown, unaware of the bizarre and terrifying experiences that awaited me. The descent through Gliese 581G's atmosphere was smoother than expected. As my landing module touched down, I marveled at the planet's beauty. Lush verdant forests stretched as far as the eye could see, under a sky that shimmered with hues of pink and orange. I set up my base camp near a small, sparkling river, eager to begin my mission. Little did I know, my journey into the unknown was about to take a dark turn. On my first night, the air around my camp grew still and cold. As I lay in my tent, I heard a strange sound, whispers carried by the wind. At first, I thought it was my mind playing tricks on me, the result of exhaustion and isolation. But the whispers grew clearer, forming words in a language I couldn't comprehend. I recorded the sounds, hoping to analyze them later. However, a chill ran down my spine as I realized the whispers seemed to be coming from multiple sources, as if unseen entities surrounded my camp, speaking in hushed, urgent tones. During a daytime exploration, I ventured into the dense forest near my landing site to collect plant samples. The trees towered above me, their leaves rustling softly in the breeze. As I meticulously documented my findings, I caught sight of a shadow moving quickly between the trees. Instinctively, I followed it, thinking it might be an indigenous animal. However, the shadow seemed to flit from tree to tree, always staying just out of reach. I increased my pace, heart pounding, but the shadow vanished without a trace, leaving me with an inexplicable sense of dread. One night, as I sat outside my tent, admiring the alien constellations, I felt an eerie sensation of being watched. I scanned the darkness, my eyes adjusting to the dim light. Suddenly, a pair of glowing eyes appeared, staring at me from the edge of the forest. Paralyzed with fear, I could only watch as the eyes moved closer, reflecting the dim light of my camp. I reached for my flashlight, and in that instant, the eyes vanished. The next morning, I found large, clawed footprints near my camp, confirming that something had indeed been watching me. I took great care in organizing my supplies every evening, ensuring that everything was in its place. However, I began to notice items missing, first small tools, then food packets. At first, I blamed myself, thinking I had misplaced them. But one morning, I discovered a trail of footprints leading away from my camp, ending abruptly, as if the thief had disappeared into thin air. The prints were unlike any I had seen before, with long, slender toes and deep imprints, suggesting a creature of considerable weight and size. While on a geological survey, I traversed rocky terrain, collecting mineral samples. As I walked, I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around multiple times, only to find nothing. The sound persisted, always just a few steps behind. My pulse quickened, and I quickened my pace, but the footsteps matched my speed. I stopped abruptly, and so did the phantom steps. I was alone, or so it seemed. The sensation of being followed remained, casting a shadow over my every move. Exploring a series of caves, I stumbled upon strange, glowing symbols etched into the walls. The symbols pulsed with an eerie, otherworldly light, illuminating the dark recesses of the cave. Intrigued, I reached out to touch one, and as my fingers made contact, a jolt of energy surged through me. My vision blurred, and my mind was flooded with fleeting images of alien landscapes and unfamiliar beings. When I regained my senses, I found myself at the cave's entrance, unable to remember how I had gotten there. One afternoon, while surveying a distant hill, I saw a figure that looked exactly like me standing at the summit. My initial reaction was one of disbelief. I approached cautiously, calling out to the figure. It mimicked my movements and gestures perfectly, as if it were my reflection. When I was within a few meters, the figure dissolved into thin air, leaving me questioning my sanity. The experience left an indelible mark on my psyche, a reminder that I was not alone on this strange planet. Once, while hiking through a valley, my watch suddenly stopped. I tapped it, shook it, but it remained frozen. When I returned to camp, I was stunned to find that several hours had passed, though I felt like I had only been gone for minutes. My log confirmed the discrepancy, showing a gap in time that I couldn't account for. I felt disoriented and anxious, the concept of time slipping away from my grasp in this alien world. To maintain a record of my mission, I often recorded audio logs. One evening, during playback, I heard a second voice, soft, almost whispering, interjecting between my words. The voice uttered warnings and cryptic messages, speaking in a language that seemed both ancient and familiar. I replayed the recordings multiple times, trying to decipher the voice, but it remained elusive, just below the threshold of comprehension. Each playback sent shivers down my spine, making me feel as though an unseen entity was trying to communicate with me. My days on Gliese 581G had been filled with wonder and trepidation, but nothing could prepare me for the harrowing experience that awaited, a confrontation with the planet's elusive inhabitants. It started innocuously enough. I was conducting a routine geological survey near a cluster of jagged rock formations, my mind focused on cataloging mineral samples and geological formations. The air was crisp and still, punctuated only by the occasional rustle of alien foliage. As I crouched down to examine a particularly intriguing rock, a guttural growl shattered the silence. Startled, I looked up just in time to see movement in the corner of my eye. Before I could react, a creature lunged at me, a blur of sinewy muscle and sharp teeth. Instinct took over as I scrambled backward, fumbling for the laser cutter strapped to my belt. The creature, a bipedal predator with sleek, iridescent scales and razor-sharp claws, it snarled, its eyes fixated on me with a primal intensity. Its skin shimmered with hues of blue and green, camouflaged against the alien foliage. With a surge of adrenaline, I activated the laser cutter, its beam slicing through the air with a sizzle. The creature recoiled, emitting a high-pitched shriek that echoed through the canyon. It circled me warily, its movements fluid and calculated. I backed away slowly, my heart hammering in my chest. The creature bared its teeth, saliva dripping from its jaws. I could see intelligence in its eyes, a hunter's gaze, honed by millennia of evolution on this unforgiving planet. As the standoff continued, more creatures emerged from the shadows, sleek and deadly, their scales glinting in the alien sunlight. They moved with a coordinated precision, encircling me with predatory intent. I knew I was outnumbered and outmatched. My laser cutter could only hold them off for so long. With each passing moment, their growls grew louder, their movements more aggressive. They were testing my resolve, probing for weakness. In a desperate gamble, I activated my distress beacon, hoping against hope that help would arrive in time. The creatures hesitated, sensing the sudden change in the air. I held my ground, my finger poised on the trigger of the laser cutter. Just as the tension reached its peak, a thunderous roar pierced the air. A rescue shuttle streaked across the sky, its engines blazing. The creatures faltered, momentarily startled by the unfamiliar sound. It was the opening I needed. With a burst of speed, I sprinted towards the shuttle, the creatures in hot pursuit. The shuttle's hatch opened with a hiss, and I dove inside, adrenaline coursing through my veins. As the hatch sealed shut behind me, I glimpsed the creatures retreating into the shadows, their piercing shrieks fading into the distance. I slumped against the cold metal walls of the shuttle, my chest heaving with exertion and relief. The rescue team tended to my injuries, a few superficial cuts and bruises from the encounter. Their expressions were grave as they examined the data from my mission, a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurked on Gliese 581G. As we lifted off from the planet's surface, leaving behind the untamed wilderness and the creatures that had nearly cost me my life, I could not shake the feeling that I had glimpsed only a fraction of what this enigmatic exoplanet had to offer. Gliese 581G remained a mystery, a place where beauty and danger coexisted in equal measure, waiting for the next brave soul to uncover its secrets in the depths of space. The experiences I encountered on Gliese 581G left me profoundly changed. Each day brought new challenges, new mysteries, and new terrors. My mission, originally one of scientific discovery, became a harrowing journey into the unknown. Back on Earth, my colleagues listened to my accounts with a mixture of awe and skepticism. The data I brought back was invaluable, but my stories of paranormal encounters and cryptid sightings were met with disbelief. I couldn't blame them. Some things are beyond human comprehension. As I look up at the night sky, I can't help but wonder what other mysteries the cosmos holds. Gliese 581G will forever remain a place of both wonder and terror, a testament to the unknown possibilities that await us among the stars.